Graduating from high school is supposed to be this big, now you're an adult moment where everything falls into place. Yeah, that's not how it went down. I dipped my toe into the college scene, taking one class in welding. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. Welding was this beautifully raw, hands-on craft where you could mold metal into just about anything. The only problem? School was not for me. Sitting in a classroom, listening to someone lecture about techniques I could just practice myself didn't sit well. So, I did what any 18-year-old kid trying to dodge the boredom of school would do. I moved out and got my own place. Living on my own meant one thing. I needed cash. Fast. Graduating from high school is supposed to be this big, now you're an adult moment where everything falls into place. Yeah, that's not how it went down. I dipped my toe into the college scene, taking one class in welding. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. Welding was this beautifully raw, hands-on craft where you could mold metal into just about anything. The only problem? School was not for me. Sitting in a classroom, listening to someone lecture about techniques I could just practice myself didn't sit well. So, I did what any 18-year-old kid trying to dodge the boredom of school would do. I moved out and got my own place. Living on my own meant one thing. I needed cash. Fast. Enter Marriott Timeshares. Now, if you've ever tried selling anything over the phone, you know it's not exactly a walk in the park. Selling a vacation package to someone who isn't even sure they want to leave their living room, that's a whole new level of challenge. But I was good. Scratch that. I was great at it. I had this knack for turning skepticism into excitement. In just a few minutes, I'd have people thinking a 7-day stay at a Marriott in Florida was something they couldn't live without. I mean, who doesn't want to be surrounded by palm trees and sunshine while sipping cocktails, right? Before long, Marriott offered me a promotion. And honestly, I was tempted. I mean, fam trips, major hotel discounts. And hearing about people's adventures? That's a dream gig. Plus, the idea of getting to wear a suit and tie and have people respect me was appealing. But here's where things got complicated. Marriott, as awesome as it was, had one downside. It was a Mormon company. And me? I'd walked away from the church at 16. The whole thing just didn't resonate with me anymore. So, despite the allure of discounted vacations and fancy suits, I decided to move on. Around this time, Halo, Combat, Evolved became not just a game, but a lifestyle. Forget Netflix binges. I was deep into all-night Halo marathons. Halo wasn't just a hobby. It was practically my second job. And it turns out I wasn't just your average player. I was a legend. I'm talking full-on, whispered in the halls status. People would challenge me, thinking they had what it took to beat me. Spoiler, they didn't. One of those hopefuls was a guy named Alex Uribe. At first, it was a 4 versus 4 Halo match. Classic team battles, full of strategies and plasma grenades. Alex and I would team up and take on other challengers, dominating match after match. We became legends in our own right. But eventually Alex's competitive streak kicked in. He was convinced that he could take me down in a 1 versus 1. He tried. And let me tell you, very, very few times did he manage to beat me. But those rare wins, they kept him coming back for more. Most people would be salty about losing, but not Alex. Instead, he saw an opportunity. If you're this good at Halo, I bet you'd kill it in business, he said. And just like that, my life took a sharp turn. Alex ran a mortgage company called Midtowne Mortgage. and wanted me on board. Now, I wasn't about to pass up a chance to make more money, so I accepted the offer. But here's where things get fun. I didn't just bring my phone sales skills from Marriott with me. I brought Halo into the mix too. This was before Xbox Live. You know, back in the dark ages of online gaming. But we were ahead of our time. We rigged up a system called Xbox Connect, which was basically our own version of Xbox Live before it even existed, using voice, T1 lines, repurposed for data. We tricked our Xboxes into thinking they were in the same room. It was genius, it was innovative, and it was pure magic for Halo marathons. We were out there dominating online matches like pioneers, pushing the limits of what gaming could be. Of course, Halo wasn't just for fun. I used it to motivate my sales team at Midtowne Mortgage. I figured, why not make the workday a little more interesting? So, I made a deal with my team. If they hit their lead targets, we could spend the rest of the day playing Halo. I wasn't just dangling a carrot. I was offering a golden gaming session at the end of every successful workday. And guess what? It worked. Those guys hit their targets like their lives depended on it. Leads were coming in faster than ever, all because a few hours of Halo were on the line. But it wasn't all about games. I had 9 mortgage brokers and 10 lead generators to manage, and we turned Midtowne into a well-oiled machine. Caffeine, spreadsheets, and a shared love for gaming fueled our days. We had the system down 2 hours of hardcore productivity, followed by 6 hours of fragging people in Halo. It was a business model that would probably make traditional managers break out in hives. But for us, it was perfection. As the business grew, so did my ambitions. I started looking beyond just running the call center. I realized there were some prime real estate deals floating around. Instead of just sitting back and running things from the mortgage side, I started cherry-picking real estate deals for myself. The beauty of it? I could move into these properties for 6 months at a time to get owner-occupied rates on Nina loans. Real estate wasn't just another investment. It became a way of life. I was flipping properties and building a portfolio like it was second nature. By this point, things were humming along pretty smoothly. We'd even moved the call center into my basement. That's right, my basement became HQ for Midtowne Mortgage. And for a while, business was booming. But you know what they say, all good things must come to an end. The national do not call list hit, and it was like someone had pulled the plug on our entire operation. One day, the phones were ringing off the hook, and the next, silence.